Hello, everyone, and welcome to NASA Bunker 33. I'm your host, Quiddy's a Sprinkler, and with me, as always, is the producer that never fucks anything up ever, Zoomy. How are you doing tonight? Okay. About this
Yeah.
topic. Uh,
You know why.
ah, gotcha. And we also have a
Just like
Bob. How are
others.
you doing tonight?
I'm doing okay. Just gonna play Splinter's Revenge while everything burns to the ground. Or Shredder's Revenge. Ah, damn it. But, oh boy,
Huh.
it's a doozy one tonight.
Yeah, apparently, from what I've been hearing. Uh, looks like we're covering happy science. None of that sad science stuff for us. Oops, it did it again.
It fucked my audio. There, now. They can hear me now. They couldn't hear me earlier because fucking Streamlabs.
Yeah,
Okay.
you tend to do that a lot.
Streamlabs just doesn't like me. It does not like my Yeti Nano. It disables it every goddamn time. But yeah, how am I doing tonight? I'll go back to what I was saying. I'm a little bit worried about tonight's stream, and everyone here can thank Dave Bob for this because he's the one who pointed me in this direction.
Yeah.
Look, I just wanted to make fun of the anime a little bit, but.
So, yeah, if happy science gives us the happy drugs, then I'm perfectly fine with that.
No, they're
But
explicitly anti-drug.
I think this whole happy part is a misnomer, and the whole science part is also a misnomer.
The whole thing's a misnomer.
So, yeah. Basically, we're looking at Japanese Scientology tonight.
Yeah, basically. They have pretty much fused all the world religions into one, and then included a couple extra godheads, like Albert Einstein, Isaac Newton, Freddie Mercury, Barack Obama, Donald Trump. You know, they're gods, apparently, to them.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. They're not.
They're not. No, they aren't.
Ooh.
Happy Science is
All
one
right.
that gives us ethanol
Although-
and anime. Yuck, you know.
Barack Obama isn't exactly one of their gods. He's just one of the many people that their leader, Ryoho Akawa, well, we'll get to how he has these
Yeah.
conversations, we'll just call them.
Yeah, but for now, I'm going to just play this. This is the intro video to their anime. We're not going to be watching the anime itself, just the promo video. So,
All right.
this is basically partially their beliefs. So,
1億5000万年前地球神
oh gods, let me see, make sure it's closed captions.
I don't speak
エローヒムが
un-American,
地上
It's not in
so
English.
I don't know what's going on.
It's not in English. I'm gonna have to find a video. Hold on a second. I thought it was in English. I'm sorry about that. What's the name of it?
So, Japanese Scientology is basically Jesus was actually a tentacle monster that lived in
Ooh.
lived in Kyoto, and yeah, I'll let you guys fill in the blanks there.
Oh no, that's good.
I'll just leave it at that.
I like what you're going for, but it's a little crazier than that.
Yeah,
Just a little.
yeah. If we could watch the 42-minute video that Mother's Basement put out instead of reading everything. But it's a bit long.
Yeah, it's kind of a long video.
That's a bit long. Well,
Oh,
But A
Yeah.
bit of good news. I think Happy Science has cured my vape. I think somehow the resistance got turned up too high, and it couldn't detect the coil because of that. But I turned the resistance down, and now it's good to go.
Oh, okay. Well, I've got a video here that. Hold a second. No, that's way too long. Way too long. Too long.
Well-
An hour long.
Okay, if you just allow me to generalize for just 1 second, I can explain the one of the core things about Happy Science, that it is led by Ryuho Okawa, the the reincarnation of the ultimate god El Kentare, who was every important, who reincarnated down the line as every important mythological figure who ever lived.
Yeah, there you go. That's easy. That's
And then
yeah.
also Sir Isaac Newton and
Einstein
Thomas Edison.
and Nikola Tesla, I think, is one of them. Let's watch this real quick.
Listen carefully, my soul. I have here the door to the truth.
Why is it whenever someone says "quote unquote" truth on YouTube, it's usually anything but?
It's not just YouTube; it's anywhere online.
Well, yeah,
It-
yeah.
It's the truth paradox. If someone online says this is the truth, or uses the word truth in any sort of description,
JM Truth.
it's the exact opposite.
Like I said, JM Truth.
Yeah.
I think it's because people can make the mistake of confusing truth with facts.
Yeah, I can see. Yeah, you got a point
One
there.
is the thing of philosophy courses. The other is fucking facts.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
yeah.
he's got, quote, truth, but he ain't got the facts.
Yeah. And don't worry, I'm keeping an eye on just in case. Hey, at least
I'm calling bullshit. Earth is only 6,000 years old.
I was wondering when you were going to say something like that. But yeah, at least, and also, they did get a little bit off as well. They claimed the Earth is what, like 93,
I get off pretty well.
like 60 some billion years old. They're off by about 20 billion years.
Yeah.
They
Somewhere around there.
they're off by about 20 billion years.
Hey, NA, how you doing tonight?
Hey, NA, Kino, Jinju. How are y'all doing tonight?
Yeah, everyone
Oh, yeah,
else.
I
Sorry,
forgot to
I
take
shouldn't
a
just
look at-
say hey to NANA. Kiano and Jinshu and Facty should be here, even though he's not typing in chat, because he literally asked me like 15 minutes ago if we were doing a show. I was like, yes, we are. He was like, oh, good.
Well, anyway, let's. What the hell? Okay.
Huh?
I was getting a feedback loop, but it's gone. Anyway, continue. Oh yeah, we forgot to mention Jesus is a space person. And so were all the other mythological people, like Zeus, Hera, the Greek gods, the Egyptian gods, the Roman gods. They're all from space.
Well, yeah, because they're all El Kentare, who is a Q?
Yeah. Alcantara is like Q basically from Star Trek.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, we're all space people because we all come from stardust.
Yeah, true, but they're talking about literal aliens like from different planets.
I met an alien once. Unfortunately, they don't do anal probes anymore. I was kind of disappointed in that.
Oh.
I was looking forward to some kinky alien butt stuff, but no.
That sucks.
That's not their policy anymore.
Well,
And then the alien sued me for sexual harassment. So, yeah, I have to be at court next week.
Oh,
apparently it is happy science policy that if they fail to save the world from, unhappy thoughts, the lizard people get to claim the Earth as their own.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
I, for one, welcome our new alien lizard overlords.
I mean, I thought the lizard people already took over, according to that show that, what was his name, Jesse Ventura had, where he made Obama's eyes blink sideways.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was an actual TV show.
Heresy.
Yeah.
False Gaijin heresy and propaganda. Trying to distract from the one true sun, Ryuho.
Real color.
All right, let's keep going with this video. I'm already really confused.
Yeah.
The
beginning
world
of
on
the-
earth should be purified through the inner light of its own people. If the earthly world is filled
Beginning
with
of the
light,
hell is actually what I call my front door.
What's that?
The beginning of the hell is actually what I call my front door.
Oh, okay.
source of negative energy.
Gautama Siddhartha, as in Buddha. If no one didn't know.
Yeah, I tried to study Buddha's philosophy once, and I got really bored with it and stopped.
Listen carefully.
But I do remember
Even
that.
if there is no one in heaven or on earth who can defeat your troops, I will still defeat you by using the power of infinite wisdom which I possess.
I'll give them this. They have a better production budget than Scientology.
Yes, they do. Much better.
Well, Scientology, they spend too much money on Tom Cruise.
Yeah, they did.
Mm.
Yeah, much too
Like,
much.
didn't they buy him like a $17 million house or something? And, they just dump money at him so that he'll
One
talk
who will
about
descend
them.
into the land in the east will be the very core of my spirit. He is the eternal Buddha, Grand Savior, also known as the Lord El Kantai.
Woo! And that's
So why did we go from Japan to India and then end in a Spanish name?
Oh. Because Lord Elkantari, I said he was cute, but he's more like, you ever see the old sci-fi show Andromeda?
yeah.
How they had like sentient sun god beings? He's more like that.
Yeah.
He's that. That's him.
Oh, so he's from the Ayn Rand base.
Thomas Edison was a sun god being.
So yeah, we've gotten into the beginning of that. There's also this the New York Times article. Would you care to begin reading, Quiddies?
Okay. Inside the fringe Japanese religion that claims it can cure the kuf. Happy Science, which boasts millions of followers, is led by a man who channels Buddha and Jesus and Freddie Mercury and says he can defeat the coronavirus. Of course, for a fee. When New York went into lockdown last month, this is April 2020. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last month, emissaries of a religious group called Happy Science showed up in a ghastly Times Square to deliver a peculiar end-of-days gospel. They wore ritual golden sashes and huddled in a semicircle. And unfortunately, they didn't dump gasoline on themselves and set themselves on fire.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Doomsday may seem to be coming, a young minister said, but the greatest savior, he continued, our master is here on earth. His name is John, and he lives in Rapid Forks, Ohio.
No,
One
wait.
or two passersby lingered. Oh, go ahead.
In fact, it's not the Morgan Freeman effect. We haven't covered that yet. We should really cover the Morgan Freeman effect one day, shouldn't we?
Oh yeah, we should.
We should totally do that one day.
I can't believe we've never covered it before.
Yeah, I can't believe we've never covered it.
Also, I think you misspoke. That last one, that wasn't happy science. That was sexy science. A much sexier cult. But we'll talk about that later.
We'll do sexy science one day.
I want to be in a sexy cult. Let's see. One or two passersby lingered, taking in the gloomy scene. Of the few people who were on the street, most just rushed past. None of this was as haphazard as it seemed. Happy Science is an enormous and powerful enterprise that scrolls really weird and makes me lose my place,
Sorry.
claiming millions of adherents and tens of thousands of missionary outposts across the world. Secretive, hostile to the media, and structured around a tiered pay-to-progress system of membership, they're sometimes called Tokyo's answer to Scientology. What about India's answer to Brian Dennehy?
I have no clue who Brian Dennehy is. So.
Actor.
Okay.
That's from a Simpsons episode.
Oh, okay, okay.
When they go to the movies and they have that guess the actor, and it's like MOTHHANSK, and Homer's like, "Ooh, Tom Hanks," and then it turns and it's a guy named Otam Shank, and Apu chimes in. He goes, "Otam Shank. He's India's answer to Brian Dennehy. Otam Shank."
Oh, okay.
Anywho, let's see. To many, the Japan Times wrote in 2009, the Happies smell suspiciously like a cult.
Want to watch this video or not? It's a YouTube. Don't know how long
We
it is.
can after the article, maybe.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and read the article. The coronavirus pandemic has proved to be a perfect vehicle for the religion's apocalyptic themes and esoteric doctrines. Its many, many texts are filled with UFOs, lost continents, and demonic warfare. It's basically what flat earthers believe.
Yeah.
Now, they detail the supernatural and extraterrestrial origins of the virus. That's not where it came from.
Yeah, they think the virus came from space. So. Yeah.
And in addition to the new DVDs, CDs, and books for sale, Happy Science is offering spiritual vaccines for a fee. The faithful can be blessed with a ritual prayer to ward off and cure the disease.
Oh, God.
I'm sure that works.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I mean, I would like to see any scientific papers on its efficacy, but you know,
But
I'm
get a
just
couple
gonna go
blind studies
ahead.
going.
Well, guys,
Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and say it works.
I tried it and it's been working for a couple of years now.
You know, it's kind of crazy. My sister is double vaxxed and triple boosted, and she just got COVID a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, God.
She just came out of quarantine at the beginning of this past week, so this past Monday. But yeah, she had COVID even though she's had 2 vaccines and 3 boosters.
Well,
Wow.
Let's see. In Times Square, the minister wrapped up his speech with a special incantation. He lifted his arms and chopped them to and fro, shouting as he went, screaming, YMCA!
You got to
His
say it
flock
so
cheered
loud.
and waved homemade placards. One read, Happy Science knows the truth.
Yes, but there's the truth, and there's the truth.
Do you want the truth?
knows where you live.
You want the truth? You can't handle the truth.
The exalted star at the center of Happy Science Universe is a former Wall Street trader named Ryuho Okawa, whose followers incredibly regard him as the incarnation of a supreme being from Venus. What's more, he also claims to channel the spirits of hundreds of characters dead and alive like Freddie Mercury, Barack Obama, and Steve Jobs. I see
Yeah.
absolutely nothing out of the ordinary so far.
Yeah.
Mr. Okawa almost never appears before the media and via aides decline requests to speak.
Well,
Before
of
his
course, because I mean, if he was required to speak, I mean, that ruined the whole
Yeah.
thing.
he was too busy going to the grocery store and buying 1 million packs of Kool-Aid to make for his followers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Before his extravagant reinvention, Mr. Okawa was born Takashi Nakagawa in 1956 on the southern island of Shikoku in Japan. The post-war decades in Japan had seen a surge in new and novel forms of religion that blended imported New Age texts with long-standing Japanese traditions. Yet this was like a lot of the weird shit in Japan, and there is a lot of weird shit in Japan.
Yeah, there is.
Oh, yeah.
There is. Yeah.
All of it came because after World War II, when Americans were there, they kind of imported beliefs and customs and stuff like that. And Japan had pretty much been isolated up
Yeah.
to that point.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, there's all these new beliefs, these new customs, these new ideals. And all of these weird things kind of became a mishmash of the ancient Japanese culture combined with American culture of the 1940s.
As well as Russia intervention, as well as Britain,
Well,
France, Italy, all the rest of the world. So it's
It's
not just
kind of
America.
it's kind of similar to America's weird obsession in the 1890s with spiritualism and stuff like that. But how do I put it? They didn't produce. We're in Japan. This is the era that produced Aum Shinrikyo.
Oh God, Shinrikyo.
So
Oh,
it
God.
gets worse.
Shinrikyo. Yeah, Shinrikyo is pretty bad.
Yeah. All right, let's see. It was in the soul searching melange that Mr. Okawa came of age. He attended Tokyo University and seemed poised to become a businessman. In the early 1980s, he joined one of the country's largest trading firms and said he spent a year working at its Manhattan office. But Mr. Okawa would soon pursue another career. Around this time, he came to believe he was in contact with wise men from the past, like Buddha and Jesus.
So he was mentally disturbed.
Yeah. They told him he was chosen to spiritually redeem a world gone to rack and ruin. Who was he to say no? It was up to me, he later wrote, to gather all the peoples of the world into this new faith. Mr. Okawa returned to Tokyo, where he tapped into the city's burgeoning metaphysical scene and attracted a following. Playing on the economic anxiety of the early 1990s, he self-published several tracts with titles like The Terrifying Revelations of Nostradamus and The Great Warnings of Allah.
Oh.
The books were hits. And as more flooded out, the tales became more and more dazzling. At first, Mr. Okawa was just a channel for far-flung spirits. Then he was reincarnated Buddha. Eventually, he proclaimed himself the supreme deity of this world. And, remarkably, his followers agreed.
Of course they did, because, I mean, people do that.
Yeah.
People are
Yeah,
stupid. People are stupid.
This is I've watched several documentaries on like the crazy ass cults from the 70s here in the US, and this is really sounding
Yeah.
exactly like several.
It is. It really is.
There was that one I forget. I
Yeah.
think it was in like Eastern Washington or Oregon or something, where their leader, he had been in India for a long time, even though he wasn't Indian, I don't think. But then he decided to move to the US and build a compound for his followers. And they would have so many people in this compound that they would actually have enough votes to make him the mayor of the city. And it turned out like they were like, yeah, you have a bunch of people living here, but you guys never registered to vote.
Oh God! Wow.
Kind
Wow.
of hard to vote.
Wow.
Vote for yourself if you're not registered.
Yeah. Well, Jinju says that was in Oregon.
Okay. I forget what cult it was, but yeah, there were a lot of crazy cult. There was one here in North Carolina too. In fact, I think there still is one up in the mountains of North Carolina. I forget what they're called. They're basically just a bunch of hippies that run around naked all the time. They just live in some like hollow back in the mountains somewhere and run around naked all the time and have orgies, and no one bothers them, they don't bother anyone, so we don't really care.
Yeah.
Uh
Then there was
Okay.
the Overcomer Ministry in South Carolina.
yeah, there was also Christian Exodus in South Carolina.
Oh God! Don't remind me. Don't fucking
Yeah,
remind me.
that was an interesting one.
Yeah. Ugh. South Carolina is one of the stupidest states in the country.
Yeah.
Seriously. We are the stupid. We are the dumbest. No, Texas
Nope.
is the dumbest.
Well,
we're close.
I saw a statistic earlier because it was talking about people that enlist in the military, and it talked about you don't get like the kids from rich families and stuff like that enlisting most of the time. It's mostly like the kids from poorer families that
Yeah.
they really don't have any future, but the military gives them a way to get
Yeah.
trained in something, some sort of trade, and when they get out, they have the GI Bill, they can actually go to college. Their family
Yeah.
wouldn't be able to afford their college. So it said that the 3 states that have the most recruits in the U.S. Army are Georgia, South Carolina, and then Idaho.
Sounds about right. Oh, and
So the dumbest people
Idaho.
apparently in the U.S. are in Georgia, South Carolina, and Idaho.
in fact, they don't do that anymore in Japan. They don't have due to health regulations, they don't sell used women's panties anymore. They still sell women's panties in vending machines. They're just not used.
Yeah.
They had to do that due to health regulations, and
Yeah, like I said, there's a lot of weird shit in Japan, and that's just one of them.
they did used to sell used women panties in vending machines in Japan, but they stopped that about 5 or 6 years ago.
I think you could still get beer from vending machines, though.
Yeah, you can get beer and cigarettes still from vending machines, but those usually you have to put your ID in. You actually have to put an ID in it to verify that you're over 18 to get it, because you have to be 18 or older in Japan.
See, that's pretty smart. Like, I don't see why we can't have something like that. Well, I mean, I guess I can see because, you just grab someone else's ID and go up to the vending machine.
Yeah, but
Uh,
But
but
not to
hell,
mention
when I
your
was before I could even drive, like my parents would drop me off at the bowling alley with a couple of friends and we would bowl all afternoon. And they had a cigarette vending machine there, and we would just wait until no employees were looking and go up
yeah,
to the vending machine and buy cigarettes.
at hotels in South Carolina, we used to have vending machines like on different floors near the elevators where anyone could just walk up and get cigarettes from a vending machine. There was
Yeah.
nobody watching, just sitting there next to the elevator. Just, oh, hey, here, put a buck in, you'll get a pack of cigarettes.
was I the only one who always found it kind of weird how they designed cigarette vending machines? Like you had to pull the
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
rod
You gotta
thing.
pull the little knob, yeah. Gotta pull that little knob and then it just falls out.
Kind of like you're trying to play foosball with addiction.
Playing foosball with cancer.
Well, anyway, back to the article.
Okay, let's see. Life on Earth, Mr. Okawa came to teach, was engineered millions of years ago by a creator god from Venus named El Kentare, who had been reincarnated over the years as deities and enlightened masters, like Hermes, Thoth from Atlantis, Odin, Buddha, and an Incan king named Rient Arl Cloud. The latest incarnation of El Kentare, of course, was Mr. Okawa himself. Soon, Happy Science would fill stadiums with ceremonies that blended theatrical cosplay and what looked like revelation. Mr. Okawa might leap from a mock UFO clad in feathery angel wings as smoking machines billowed. And all I can think of is
Oh
the
god.
leader from the Simpsons episode when he tries to leave in his spaceship and it's just a bicycle.
that one dude on the right. He just looks like a guy that's, looks like that World
He
of
looks
Warcraft
like
kid.
he ate the last incarnation of El Kentare.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, just one moment, guys. I'd like to say hello to my buddy James, who is in the audience tonight, although I do not think he's in the chat. He just texted me on phone. Dude, you can get into the chat. The YouTube chat. YouTube has chat. You can.
Yeah, YouTube has chat.
I like Karen in the third row back there. She doesn't even give a shit. She's just on her phone.
He just texted me no knob pulling on stream.
No knob but I like
He's
pulling knobs.
new to the show.
I like pulling knobs. Pulling knobs is fun.
We know, Zumi. We know.
But I will never die.
I will never die. Yeah.
Want to bet?
I want to bet on that. Yeah.
I got
Kino,
10 bucks.
apparently-
You will.
Apparently, Kino, they speak Spanish on Venus. Yes.
All right. Between the growing media franchise and fees and donations, Mr. Okawa's project made him exceptionally rich. By some estimates, Happy Science had revenues of $45 million a year.
Damn.
But there was always a dark side, never far from the surface. Dun dun dun. Commercial break. Sorry, that just seemed like a perfect segue to a commercial break on any TV show I've ever seen ever.
Actually, I have the music for that.
In the mid-90s, Happy Science's rivalry with another doomsday group, Shinrikyo, took an ugly turn. First tried to assassinate Mr. Okawa, then later launched an attack on the Tokyo subway with... Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On Shinrikyo.
They're wacky rivals until the assassinations and mass murder attacks started happening.
Yeah.
Oh, God! Ugh.
Yeah, gotta love that sarin gas in the subway.
Also, just to call back to earlier, Rient Arl Crowd. I looked it up. No, that is not a fucking Incan name. That is just
No.
something he made the fuck up.
That's not an Incan name, no. That is not an Incan name.
I want to see if there was anything to go from it. No, yeah, that's complete bullshit.
Let's see. Yet where other enterprising messiahs fell aside, Mr. Okawa persisted. Happy Science has since opened private schools in Japan, and in 2009 it branched into politics with a right-wing platform that has seen
Sorry.
limited success in local elections.
My mouse is kind of funky at the moment.
So it seems.
I'll scroll down and it'll scroll up.
Yeah.
I tried everything to try to fix it. It doesn't work. Might have to get a new mouse.
So yeah, this is really sounding like that cult from Oregon.
Yeah.
Trying to get elected in local elections, and yeah. Mr. Okawa has continued to churn out books, which now number more than 2,000, most of them transcriptions of lectures. That's kind of ridiculous right there. Like 2,000 books, but it's just like shit that he says when he's talking to people.
Yeah.
How interesting can that actually be?
Not very. Not very.
A film division also puts out feature-length anime.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Happy Science has left scores of disaffected members in its wake. Opponents accuse the group of fleeing acolytes in what they say amounts to a pyramid scheme. No shit. Much to the embarrassment of Mr. Okawa, his own son Hiroshi, once primed as a successor, is now one of Happy Science's most vocal critics. Oh, it's kind of like the Westboro Baptist Church there.
Yeah.
Because, the daughter left, and she's one of the most vocal critics of the Westboro Baptist Church.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see the parallel there.
Hiroshi Okawa, in a message said of his father, he claimed to have received the messages of God. He relentlessly lied to his followers. He added, I believe what my father does is complete nonsense. I mean, you can't be much more blunt than that.
Yeah.
The Happy Science's claims of 11 million members also seems unlikely. When Mr. Okawa's first wife, Kyoko, left the group in 2011, she estimated real membership was around 30,000. For his part, Mr. Okawa denounced his estranged family as demonic.
That kind of reminds me of the whole thing with Trump
claiming
there were millions of people at his inauguration, when there was only like 10,000 people altogether.
There are the most people ever at an inauguration.
And yet you look at it and you can easily see the floor, for one.
Yeah.
There's like nobody there. It was like it looked fucking abandoned. But yet it had the most people there.
I mean, still, like, if you have 30,000 people, of course, Japan is pretty densely populated in some areas, but then it's pretty sparsely populated in other areas. So, say you move those 30,000 people to one of the sparsely populated areas, you could win elections there.
Yeah.
Which is what the people in Oregon tried to do.
If you get them
they just tried to have more
people
than the rest of the people there.
That's the whole idea behind the Quiverful movement, actually. That is literally the idea behind the Quiverful movement, is to outbreed everyone so that your children will vote the same way you do, so you'll get the people in office that you want to put in office, because you have now outbred the population. That's literally the idea behind the Quiverful movement, is to pass on their religion and political beliefs by fucking.
Yeah. And of course, they have a lot of kids that won't even talk to them because
Yeah.
they treat their kids like shit.
And then
Oh,
you
yeah.
have the kids who sexually molest their own sister,
Yeah,
their own kin, because they can't find anyone else to sexually harass.
yeah,
And because it's so easy to do, because the parents don't actually look after them and don't monitor them, so they don't do shit like that.
yep,
Duggars, I'm looking at you.
yep.
Just
James, you taking notes?
All right. So troubled at home, the Happies have set sights on America, where people are stupid enough to follow them.
yeah.
I mean, sorry, where they have found a receptive, if modest, welcome. In 2008, Happy Science purchased a Manhattan townhouse and, after renovations, installed its North American headquarters here, relocating from a small office in New Jersey. Eh, they they seem like they kind of belong in New Jersey with the rest of the trash.
Yeah. But yeah.
For the grand opening, Mr. Okawa flew in with his entourage to hold an inaugural lecture that packed the sanctuary and an overflow room downstairs. I mean, if it's in a townhouse, it can't be that big.
Yeah, townhouses usually aren't that big.
So it's like 20 people packed into a Manhattan living room.
Oh,
The
yeah.
building is on a shaded Tribeca alley, sandwiched incongruously between espresso cafes and designer boutiques. Looped videos of Mr. Okawa's lectures play on a large screen facing the street.
That's got to be fun.
That's some Russian propaganda
Yeah,
bullshit right
that's,
there.
I was about to say, that's
That's,
propaganda bullshit right there.
that's literally
Yeah.
what Russia's doing in occupied territories in Ukraine. They have these giant TV trucks that they just drive, and of course they bombed out electricity and sewage and water and gas and everything like that. So every day people have to come and get food and water. So they just park their propaganda TVs right there where everyone that's left has to come to get their food and water every day and just blare propaganda at them.
Yes, Kino, if you need to breed followers for your cause, it's not worth supporting. Exactly. At that point, you're just trying to outbreed everyone, and that never ends
Yeah.
well.
Actually,
One
usually
afternoon,
sorry.
one afternoon before the shutdown in New York, Yushi Hagamoto, the head minister in the city, sat in the foyer tidying up wares. Glittering amulets and jewelry were for sale. A golden statue of El Cantare, his face modeled on Mr. Okawa's, set in the dim central altar.
What does that remind
Hun-
me of? What does that remind me of? A golden statue of a certain person. Oh yeah, Trump.
yeah. Of
Sounds
course,
like
the
something
best
with that.
statue of Trump was the fat, naked Trump in Central Park.
With the baby carrot.
Yeah, the baby carrot. I mean, it wasn't even a baby carrot.
Yeah, it wasn't even a baby carrot.
it was like half a baby carrot.
It was like
Oh.
it was like a quarter of a baby carrot.
And that was still probably
Don't.
generous.
Don't remind me. Don't. No.
Hundreds of Happy Science texts lined the shelves with titles like Alien Invasion, 7 Future Predictions, Spiritual Message from the Guardian Spirit of Donald Trump, and so
The
on.
guardian spirit of Donald Trump. Oh God.
The books about demons are very popular, Mr. Hagamoto said. When news broke this year about a deadly virus spreading from China, Happy Science was quick to pivot to this novel cataclysm. Of course, the Japanese and the Chinese kind of don't like each other, so
Yeah, they
when a
don't.
disease starts in China, they're going to play off it.
Yeah. Well, partially the reason behind that is because Japan literally stole their language from China, and then they modified it just a little bit, and China never got over that.
And here,
I mean, a whole lot more recently.
I
You know, when after Japan bombed Pearl Harbor and the U.S. was like, well, let's take an aircraft carrier across the Pacific and bomb Tokyo. So they did the Doolittle raids, and then they didn't have enough fuel to turn around and go back to the carriers, so they flew
Yeah.
over Tokyo, bombed it, and then flew into China and landed. And because the Chinese people helped the American pilots escape, Japan kind of killed 250,000 Chinese people.
Yeah, that too. I'm just talking about originally the reason
Yeah.
China didn't like Japan to begin with.
Yeah, they've kind of never liked each other at
They
all.
never.
especially
But yeah, Japan
There's a-
was kind of dicks to them back in the 1940s.
Yeah.
just
real
let's look up of Nanking, and there'll be another word there that pretty aptly describes what Japan did.
Oh
Yeah.
They
yeah.
know it.
Yeah.
They
I
pretend
mean,
not to know it, but they know.
you know, China's done some shit too. I'm not going to say it's one-sided. China's done a lot of shit to Japan too.
Oh, you mean
In fact,
the great
if people in chat don't know this already, the former prime minister of Japan was assassinated yesterday.
Yeah.
And I saw a video a little while ago where there was this huge party in China celebrating the death of Japan's former prime minister.
Well,
Hey,
to be fair, he was a big advocate of denial of the whole,
the Holocaust?
Nanking thing.
Oh yeah, the
Also,
grape
the,
when they threw grapes at them.
Also, what
Yeah,
was it? The
Grapes. The
culture
graping.
or
The graping.
joy or whatever.
The graping of Nanking. Yeah.
yeah.
I swear we're gonna grape you. We will grape you in the mouth. You don't remember that fake commercial, the SNL thing? I think it was SNL. No, it was New Kids. No, it was New Kids in the Hall, wasn't it? The grape.
Just to allow
grape
audience
juice
members
commercial?
to know, since we don't have video, I have moved further away from my laptop in disgust of this one. No.
It was a funny commercial. It was a funny.
Can't sanction it.
It
Can't
was,
sanction it.
It was funny. I liked it.
Can't.
I thought
No.
it was funny.
All right.
Look,
Beginning in January, Mr. Okawa claimed to receive messages from a trio of extraterrestrials, going by the unfamiliar names R.A. Gull, Metatron, and Yidron.
Metatron is an actual term. Metatron is the name of the angel that speaks for God, because if God were to speak, it would blow your head up.
Yeah, that was Alan Rickman in Dogma.
And Dogma, but it is actually a true thing in the Christian. Metatron is an actual angel in the Christian religion. It's not very well,
because Alanis Morissette's voice will make your head explode.
He also transforms into a giant gun, so a robot god can blow your head off.
Except in the
it
shitty Michael Bay movies when he just transforms into a plane.
Yeah, it checks. It's an old meme, but it checks.
Yeah. And the spirits of Chinese leaders, including Xi Jinping, the guardian angels of Boris Johnson, John Lennon, and Angela Merkel, also sent transmissions. Well, considering Boris Johnson is stepping down, maybe he's not going to be a guardian angel anymore. I don't know. According to Happy Science, the virus was created as a bioweapon by the Chinese government in Wuhan, and then in a twist, it was unleashed by a UFO to punish the communists for their godless ways. It checks out.
It checks, yeah.
It is spread to other lands that lack true faith.
Yeah, it checks. It checks.
Yeah, that information checks out.
Yeah,
I'm good with it. This material was quickly published as 3 booklets in Japanese and has now been translated in English this month as Spiritual Reading of Novel Coronavirus Infection Originated in China. Well, that is a very descriptive
Title, yeah.
yet oddly vague title.
It is.
But there is hope for the faithful, the Happy say. Along with a book series, they now sell coronavirus-themed DVDs and CDs of Mr. Okawa lecturing. The sound alone of his voice is meant to hold immune-boosting power. Kind of like, who was the asshole televangelist that bought a bunch of hand sanitizer and then told the people watching him to just rub their hands on their TV screen and that would sanitize their hands as long as they had
shit. I can't remember his name right now. Oh, God,
I can't remember who it was. Was it Jim Baker?
It might have been Jim Baker.
There's so many of them.
There's so many, yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. In one video clip, Mr. Okawa advised, "You must knock out the coronavirus with your El Cantare belief." In another, "It will become like out with the demons, in with the good fortune."
Serenity now.
So,
Serenity now.
wait,
Serenity
is it
now.
a bioweapon or a demon?
Serenity now. Serenity now. Serenity.
And the answer to your question is yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Just making sure.
Yes.
Mr. Okawa also introduced the sacred text of a new ritual purported to miraculously cure the disease. It is conducted in private at temples in exchange for donations. Japanese ads list several prices for virus-related blessings, going from $100 to more than $400. Yeah, gotta love profiting off of diseases.
Yeah, just gotta love it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of woo fuckery out there anyway, and people buy it up.
Yeah.
Like the fucking USB stick you plug into your computer to block 5G.
Or the little, or we covered this once, or the little sticker that you put on the back of your phone that blocks 5G.
Yeah,
And,
that turned out to be radioactive.
It turned out to be highly radioactive. Yeah.
Text update from my buddy James. Oh, frick that. Indeed, James. Indeed.
Numerous members of the Tribeca congregation have requested the coronavirus prayer. "It's amazing," Mr. Hagimoto said. "We're seeing people being cured." In the early days of the virus, Happy Science has proudly kept its Manhattan doors open for business, even as some churches closed. But as infections in the city soared, the temple announced that it would lock up. Beginning this month, Happy Science will administer spiritual vaccines remotely.
Yeah. That's just...
Gotta love those remote vaccinations.
Yeah, that's the best way to have them.
You mean by drone? Yes, magic spirit drone.
I mean, you know, I've always kind of held the belief that if you're that fucking stupid to believe that shit, then you should go ahead and throw your money at it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What else do we have?
You know what
do
they
we
say?
want to watch the video from that article?
I already closed it. Damn it.
Oh.
Oh well. Not worried about it. Let's not worry about it. We're reaching an hour now, so we've still got 3 articles left.
All right. So the founder and CEO of the Happy Science Group.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is the founder.
Master Ryuho Okawa was born on July 7th, 1956, in Tokushima Prefecture, Japan. After graduating from the University of Tokyo, a prestigious university, he joined an international trading company based in Tokyo. While he worked at the company's New York headquarters, he studied international finance at the Graduate Center of the City University of New York.
Well, at least he has more education than a certain individual who used to call his office the White House.
Yeah. On March 23rd, 1981, Master Okawa attained great enlightenment and awakened to the hidden part of his consciousness, El Kentare, whose mission is to bring true happiness to all humanity. Not that fake happiness that's been keeping me down all this time.
Yeah, real happiness, true happiness.
In July 1986, Master
Happiness.
Okawa renounced a promising career as a businessman. He decided to devote his life to spreading the truth and established Happy Science, which was registered as a religious organization in 1991 in Japan. Master Okawa's first lecture took place on November 23rd, 1986. In 1987, the foundation of the teachings was laid out in his publications, The Laws of the Sun, The Golden Laws, and Nine Dimension, Unveiling the Laws of Eternity. Maybe
Yeah.
he should have been a lawyer.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's all about laws.
He's all about the laws. Yeah.
Wait a minute. Is Phoenix Wright one of his incarnations?
Oh God.
Objection!
Sustained.
Okay.
On November 18th, 2007, Master Okawa gave his first official overseas lecture in Hawaii entitled Be Positive.
Be positive.
It's such a dumb title for a lecture.
Yeah.
Don't
It
worry.
sounds like.
Be positive. It doesn't have the same ring to it.
Also, the whole be positive thing, that sounds a whole like the whole hippy dippy movement, you know, just be happy and everything will be fine. Don't worry about everything. It'll be fine as long as you think positively.
Well,
Yeah.
that's
If you're depressed, why don't you just be happy?
Yeah, exactly.
Have you tried that?
Have you tried just being happy?
You know,
it,
I don't see why you can't just be happy.
you guys are
I don't-
kind of hitting it on the head with some of the more, insidious messaging of this
Yeah.
religion.
Yeah.
But we'll get there.
This marked the beginning of Master Okawa's world missionary tour, and he has given lectures in English in all the 5 continents. I'm pretty sure there's 7 continents, not 5. Since then, Master Okawa has been lecturing around the world as a world teacher. His teachings, based on universal religious truths, I love how truths is capitalized there, by the way, expand to cover concrete proposals for resolving worldwide political and economic situations. I'm sure he can solve all of these political and economic problems
Yeah. Sure. You can
By-
solve all the problems.
by
Being
alien
happy.
ghosts talking to him or something.
Or something.
Yeah. And he has given over 3,400 lectures, of which more than 150 are in English and over 1,250 are spiritual messages and readings in both Japanese and English. His lectures have been published as books, and a number of them have become bestsellers. He has published more than 3,000 books. I thought it was 2,000, of which more than 600 are spiritual interview series, including The Laws of the Sun, which sold 1 million copies. He has held numerous seminars and produced 25 films based on his teachings. He can also suck his own dick and lick his own asshole. In 2011, he recorded in the Guinness World Records as the most books written in 1 year by an individual after publishing 52 books in 2010 alone.
Hold on. There's a mistake there. The one, the the dick and asshole thing, it should also say at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. His publications continued to increase after that, as he published 161 books in 2014. Furthermore, his books have been translated into 40 languages, beginning with English, German, French, Portuguese, Chinese, and Korean, and for the readers all over the world.
Yeah, this is...
To date, Happy Science has produced 25 movies in 2 days. The original story and original concept were given by the executive producer Ryuho Okawa. Recent movie titles are Beautiful Lure a Modern Tale of Painted Skin, live action May 2021, Into the Dreams and Horror Experiences, and The Laws of the Universe, The Age of Elohim. The Cherry Bushido. He has also composed the lyrics and music to over 450 songs last week alone, such as theme songs and featured songs of movies.
This is kind of reminding me of a certain dictator in a certain
Any dictator ever?
in a certain democratically elected country.
Now, guys, you got to remember, he's also been he's also the reincarnation of all the notable figures of history. So we're probably counting some of that stuff too.
I'm talking about. I'm more specifically talking about North Korea. He reminds me of King Jong of North Korea. You know, he can beat Michael Jordan in a basketball contest in 5 minutes.
He also beat up Chuck Norris.
Yeah, he doesn't have to pee or use number 2. He doesn't pee or crap. He can speak with dolphins.
Let us know in chat what else he can do.
Yeah.
Let's see. Vin Diesel once walked down the street with a massive erection. He was the only survivor.
Do I remember the movie The Yes Man? Yes, I do.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
I don't know if I ever saw it, but I remember it.
Kino. That sounds about right, Kino. He must be working like 72 hours a day while snorting a pound of white powder an hour. Wait, how does he have access to our cocaine room? What the hell?
He drinks 5 bottles of 5-hour energy every day.
For
so he
breakfast.
gets 25. He gets 25 hours of energy every 24 hours.
Every breakfast. That's his breakfast. It's just 5 bottles of 5-hour energy.
Yeah. Happy Science activities mainly take place at the branches, temples, and the shohas, or shojas, I guess. Sorry, I'm used to Spanish, so when I see a J, I automatically think it's an H. On the content of education, politics, and making further publications to bring improvements to society. He has also laid the foundation for ideal politics and education by establishing the Happiness Realization Party in 2009 and the Happy Science Academy, the Nasu main campus in 2010, and the Kansai campus in 2013. Additionally, he is also the founder of Happy Science University, which opened as an unaccredited institution of higher education in April 2015, and the founder of IRH Press Company Limited, and the chairperson of the New Star Production Company Limited and ARI Production Company Limited.
Yeah, that kind of reminds me of another thing that Trump did. Trump University, unaccredited.
Yeah.
Then got sued for millions of dollars and had to pay.
Yep. Happy Science now has members in over 165 countries across the world, and 7 of the 8 planets in the solar system.
Yeah,
with
Pluto
more than
doesn't count.
700 branches and temples, as well as 10,000 missionary houses around the world. And we are actively involved in charity works. For instance, the H.S. Nelson Mandela Fund is established to support people who cannot receive education due to... What the fuck does that have to do with Nelson Mandela?
I don't know.
Oh, he's one of his more popular people-y
Well,
channels.
Nelson Mandela actually, he was in favor of higher education and tried to get people to, go to college more often.
Well, I didn't say, okay, due to poverty or racial and caste discrimination. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Nelson
So,
Mandela was actually
they
really good.
skim 95% off the top and give 5% to actual scholarships.
Well, he was no,
People who are
no,
oppressed by their government and people who cannot receive medical treatment. Eh. So yeah,
I mean,
they set up charities to just skim more money, you know, for people that don't actually follow their
we're
beliefs.
not going to go over his
They can
childhood and
have
everything.
charities that sound really good. People give money to it.
He also invented the world's happiest beer, Red Stripe. He gave it to Jamaica then.
Here's a profile of him in 3 minutes. That'll work.
Let's see. Let's see what chat says. He can leap over tall buildings in a single bound.
Oh wait, wrong.
He writes so fast he creates tachyons. When he farts, they feel it in Australia.
Wait, I thought that was Boomer. Oh shit, never mind.
I mean, yeah, when Booma farts, they feel it in Australia, all right.
They feel it all over the world when Boomer farts. Trust me. Thanks to our teleporter technology, that's kind of the thing.
Yeah.
He
All right,
teleports
what do we
his
have?
This is a profile of Master Ryuho Okawa, 2019. Oh god, it's the cheesy music.
I mean, this is basically what we've read twice already.
Yeah, pretty much. So this is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Literally, everything you read is just going to be his background. It's going to be,
Yeah.
I was born in 1956 here, and then I went to school in Tokyo, and then I got a job in New York, and then I started doing stupid shit.
Well, let's end up on this article for tonight. It's in a article heavy night because it's actually really hard to find videos on Happy Science that don't involve the anime. It's just the anime.
Okay. If you thought America was the only country where a bogus religion like Scientology... No, I never fucking thought that. I've heard of India before.
Yeah.
Where a bonus religion like Scientology could thrive. You were wrong. Japan has its own version. It's called Happy Science, and it apparently offers spiritual COVID-19 cures for a fee, of course.
Wait, is this the same article just on a different site?
I mean, literally, that next paragraph I've already read.
Yeah, so we've already read this. So yeah, this is just the same article, different site with different visuals.
Apparently, every source ever is just going to tell you, okay, that's a little bit different.
Oh man, we haven't even gotten to how they believe in.
Yeah, it's
how
back
they have
to 2,000 books now.
Their own wing of QAnon.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that's the article I've already read.
Yeah, it's just on a different site. Yeah. let me try to find something real quick. Y'all two converse. Jay,
when Okawa went to the Virgin Islands, after he left, they were just called the Islands.
Oh God.
One time he sneezed, and everyone called it Mount Vesuvius, and he destroyed Pompeii and Herculaneum.
Here we go.
You know, he showed up to my door a few minutes ago while I was muted, and you guys were going on. He gave me this cup of fish food. The Ben and Jerry's ice cream, not literal fish food. Said, be happy. I said, okay. I gave him the finger as he walked out.
I mean, If he showed up right now with some fucking Ben and Jerry's at my door, especially if it was Americone Dream, I'd be pretty fucking happy.
Yeah. So yeah, what drives JAnon? QAnon's Japanese counterpart.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's this? He left a bill. $500 for a small fucking quart of fish food? Motherfucker.
Yep. Highly organized pro-Trump demonstrations have been taking place in some of Japan's largest cities. Why? Why is Japan having pro-Trump demonstrations? He has literally nothing to do with Japan ever.
Yeah.
As part of a thriving JAnon movement.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
In a series of tweets, Jeffrey Hall, a scholar specializing in right-wing politics who teaches at Waseda University, documented a relatively large pro-Trump Stop the Steal rally on January 6th in Tokyo, hours before Trump supporters on the other side of the planet violently stormed the U.S. Capitol building in Washington, D.C. So they were just too lazy to go commit crimes in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
So they just, stayed in Japan.
Yeah, and they did it in Japan.
Well, also, Japan's. How do I put this? Travel to and from Japan was extremely limited during the whole COVID thing because
Yeah.
Japan actually took measures to limit
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is true.
effects.
Even though
So,
these people were fucking stupid and most of them aren't wearing masks.
yeah.
It looks like there's one guy there wearing a mask, but I think it's just a Trump mask.
Hey, Renee and me, Glover
Yeah.
Mom, George and the George said, Charlie Welch, hey, welcome to the stream.
All right, keep going. Keep scrolling. Keep scrolling.
You didn't read this part.
Oh, there we go. Sorry, it's a little bit of a delay on Jitsi for me, apparently.
Oh, okay.
Because all of a sudden it just appeared at this part.
Wow.
And in mid-December, BBC journalist Cheyenne Sardazahidi, who reports on conspiracy theories, shared videos of another pro-Trump demonstration in Osaka, noting the growth in Japan of the JAnon phenomenon, a crowdsourced conspiracy theory where Donald Trump is battling dark forces, including a P-word ring.
Yeah, Osaka isn't known as the smartest individuals in Japan.
Yeah.
Osaka is pretty much the Texas of Japan. Like, literally. Whenever they cast someone as a voice role in the American dubs of a different anime, usually if they're from Osaka, it's a Texas accent. They literally will hire a Texan to play them.
Pretty much everywhere that's not America in the world thinks all Americans speak like Texans anyway.
Anyway, let's get on to another. There we go.
Until a social media crackdown following the January 6th riot at the U.S. Capitol, QAnon groups in Japan have connected using hashtags such as hashtag JAnon and hashtag QArmyJapanFlynn in reference to disgraced U.S. National Security Advisor and key QAnon figure Michael Flynn.
Yeah.
Despite the platform's multiple crackdowns on QAnon since 2020, including its most recent one, in which it removed over 70,000 related accounts as of January 13, 2020, both hashtags remained active. As for, they use Discord and Telegram a lot and WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Because there's, there's no monitoring
and they use
or anything like there is in social media.
They use Uptalk a lot too.
Yeah. As well as what's the Trump social media platform? I forget what it's called, but
Like Truth or something like that. It's like Truth something or something other. I can't remember.
yeah, something insanely stupid. Uh, as for why QAnon has become popular in Japan, as exemplified by rallies in various cities since the November 2020 election, it's thought that the social dislocation caused by the massive earthquake, tsunami, and nuclear disaster in 2011, and now the COVID-19 pandemic have made some in Japan more receptive to conspiracy theories that help explain where everything went wrong. In an article published in December 2020 by Harbor Business Online, journalist and activist Ogesa Taro notes that support for Trump in Japan okay, there we go. Support for Trump in Japan comes from an established symbiotic ecosystem of far-right, ultra-nationalist, and anti-communist groups with a prominent social media presence.
Yeah,
Ogesa
Japan is turning rather right wing lately. Well, they've
yeah.
always been right wing, but not to the absurdity as America is.
I mean, they were until we dropped a couple of big bombs on them.
Yeah,
and then
well, they still
they kind of weren't
Well,
for
they-
a long time, but I mean, they were still right wing, but like the good right wing.
yeah, the good right
But
wing. Yeah.
like the John McCain before before like mid 2000s
Yeah.
right wing.
Yeah, like
Uh,
George W. Bush right wing. No, well, no, not quite that bad.
No.
George, well,
I mean, it's pretty hard to actually name
Gerald
a Republican
Ford?
president that
Gerald
wasn't
Ford.
a
There we go. Gerald Ford right
complete
wing.
piece of shit.
Gerald Ford right wing. I would say. Well, no, Gerald
Yeah.
Ford.
No.
Gerald Ford would be considered left wing nowadays. So.
Yeah.
Gerald Ford would literally be considered a liberal nowadays.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, but so would Reagan.
Yeah, and Reagan was not left wing by any means,
By any means,
but how
no.
far the right has gone.
Yeah, he would be considered right wing now. Because
Yeah.
Biden is pretty much Reagan. Biden is pretty much
Yeah.
Reagan.
I mean,
Sadly.
Obama would have been right wing back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, Obama actually had a fair amount of conservative policies.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Biden does too. Biden does
And
too.
you know that I think that's why I liked Obama so much, is because he was so middle of the road.
Yeah,
But
he was
anyway,
more of a centrist
we
than-
digress.
Yeah.
Ogesa also says support for Trump can come from across the political spectrum in Japan. Anti-base activists in Okinawa, for example, may have initially supported the current U.S. president in the belief he would pull American forces out of the country.
Remember, this was written before Biden was elected. Well, this is written when
Yeah.
Biden was when Biden was elected.
Yeah, we're not pulling them out of Okinawa. I hate to tell you.
Yeah, no.
You know, we're kind of there to stay.
Yeah, we're pretty much in every country to stay.
We made that a point when we took that island. We're kind of there to stay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those who support human rights in China, Ogesa says, such as democracy in Hong Kong or an end to the persecution of China's
Uyghur.
I don't like saying this because it sounds like a bad word, but Uyghur minority.
Uyghur.
Uyghur.
No,
It's Uyghur.
it is Uyghur.
Oh,
Yeah,
Uyghur.
Uyghur.
I thought it was Uyghur. Oh well.
No, Uyghur.
May also look on Trump as a savior. He adds that support for Trump also comes from cults and fringe religious movements. Such new religions, which are sometimes referred to as cults, have a rich history and continuing presence in Japan, and date back to the social upheaval and loosened restrictions on religious activity following the cataclysmic end of the shogunate in 1867.
Yeah, that gets into Japanese mythology as well as history.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, back when Tom Cruise went there and brought them a bunch of guns, and then uh, became a samurai and
Oh
fought
God.
against his own guns and died, or he didn't die.
You're talking about Ronin? The
No,
movie
I'm
Ronin.
talking about The Last Samurai.
Oh, The Last
Yeah.
Samurai. Oh, okay.
Ronin
Okay,
was
that's
the
right.
different. Yeah.
Yeah, Ronin was
Yeah.
different. Yeah, never mind. Sorry.
Although-
Ronin
That was
is
a good
a
movie.
samurai without a master.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Technically, also Ronin was a movie about with Jean Reno, and it
Yeah, that
wasn't
was a
in
good
Japan.
movie.
It was.
That was a good movie.
I love that movie. Best car
Those,
chase.
those old 90s Jean Reno movies were
Great.
amazing.
Yes, they were.
Ronin
God,
and
Wasabi. Wait,
The Professional.
The Professional. That was a great movie.
That's one of my all-time favorite movies.
Professional was a great movie, except for all the pedophilia.
Yeah. That.
I mean, there really isn't any because he
Well-
keeps her away the entire movie. Like, she wants it, but he doesn't.
Yeah. But Japanese films are still much better. Like Kurosawa. Oh, Kurosawa made some great films. Kurosawa made some of the best action samurai / ninja / action films altogether. I mean,
The Chanbare genre.
yeah, Chanbari. I love me a good Japanese film. Like honestly, just give me a good Japanese film. I'm set for the day. Well, a couple good Japanese films.
The devastation of war and subsequent expansion of personal liberties following Japan's defeat in the Second World War sparked the growth and renewal of a variety of new religious movements, which, that's exactly what I was talking about earlier.
Yeah, like Happy Science.
The most infamous of these post-war fringe religions was the Aum Doomsday cult of the 1990s.
Yeah.
Led
Oh, yeah.
by Asahara Shoku, the Aum group engaged in a series of targeted murders, bombings, and other activities before releasing sarin gas in the Tokyo subway in March 95, killing 13 people and injuring at least 5,500 others.
Yeah.
They said something on last podcast on the left about Om Shinrikyo that I find very accurate. They're very much like the Japanese Cobra from G.I. Joe. Like
Yeah.
Cobra. They are.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. I can actually see that.
They had international weapons and drug deals. They manufactured weapons.
Yeah.
They manufactured chemical weapons. AKs for days.
But I think they're the only group that ever rivaled the Yakuza, aren't they?
Oh yeah.
Speaking of G.I. Joe, did you know that there's a YouTube channel that streams the old 80s G.I. Joe episodes 24 hours a day?
Oh, God.
It popped up in my recommended a few days ago, and so I watched 3 or 4 episodes. I was like, oh my God, this is a blast from the past.
Well, now we know.
Yeah, now we do.
And knowing is half the battle. I used to love that show as a kid.
Me too.
Oh yeah.
Sarah Hightower, an independent researcher who studies domestic terror movements, notes that Aum, like QAnon, was quite successful with its recruitment efforts. Aum recruited an astrophysicist who monitored the radioactive output of neutron stars for fun, and within a year he was willing to kill babies because he believed anime and Asimov were real, and they wanted to kill Asahara.
Oh,
He gave the orders to make sarin, for fuck's sake.
wow. Damn.
To be fair, Asimov was real.
Well, yeah, Asimov was real. Yeah.
Isaac Asimov was a real person.
Isaac Asimov, yeah, was a real person.
But I
But
think it's
otherwise,
a
point
different
taken.
context. I don't think they're talking about Isaac Asimov because it's not capitalized. I mean, it may just be she may just not be capitalizing.
Well, they did that in the
Stuff.
tweet, I believe. I believe that was the tweet they were quoting. So yeah.
Yeah. the tweet from Sarah Hightower, she may just not be capitalizing anything in it.
Yeah, she
Well,
does. Yeah, she didn't.
Because she
capitalize
doesn't
anything.
capitalize that Sahara or anything.
Yeah.
Quote my buddy James, you.
Okay.
Okay, I think that one just came in a little late.
It has been estimated that by 1995, there were 65,000 odd members in Japan and around the world, with 30,000 to 50,000 members located in Russia.
Oh.
Prior to the attacks, Alm engaged in various commercial operations in Japan and sold drugs and weapons in countries around the world.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Are cults in Japan embracing JAnon? Yes.
Yes, they are.
Right, yeah.
Waseda University's Jeffrey Hall, who filmed the large, well-organized pro-Trump marches in Tokyo on January 6th, also identified the participation of fringe religious groups, including Sanctuary Church, also known as World Peace and Unification Sanctuary, Falun Gong, and Happy Science. The latter, a religious organization often referred to as a cult with its own political party in Japan.
Yeah.
Falun Gong. Oh, go ahead.
When the Chinese and Japanese get together, it's because of insanity like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. When the Chinese and the Japanese start agreeing on stuff, I get scared. It scares me. It scares me when Chinese and Japanese actually agree on something, because that's usually a bad thing.
Falun Gong, an international religious movement that is banned and persecuted in mainland China, operates Epoch Times, an anti-communist and increasingly pro-Trump newspaper. I mean, I understand being anti-communist.
Yeah.
Because every time communism has been implemented throughout history, it's been incredibly corrupt and destructive.
Well, see, the problem is
communism. The theory behind communism is actually pretty good, and it could work, but it's easily corruptible, and that's why it sucks.
Well,
part of... Oh, go ahead.
Part of the problem, though, is the fact that the leaders never step down. In true communism, there are no leaders. There is no higher class. There is one class, and that's the worker class, and it's the proletariat. The proletariat does everything, and they get paid equally, and there are no leaders. There are only followers.
You vote on everything. You vote.
Yeah, you vote on everything.
But another part of the problem is that a lot of these movements are based on the model of gaining control of the government through violent revolution.
Yeah.
And the problem is, to win those violent revolutions, you need complete assholes to be on your side. And they tend to stab the people.
You need a strong leader that will motivate people to take up arms against the government and take it over.
Yeah.
And that person, of course, is easily corrupted.
Or usually just stabbed in the back by the next guy in line.
Yeah. The next guy who's even easier corrupted.
And whose hand then shrivels up like a 2-year-old raisin.
Yeah.
Let's see, where were we?
He would even shoot the guy who sold you pierogi. I mean, come on.
Falun Gong has participated in or helped organize other pro-Trump rallies around the world, including in Taiwan. Who are they? Trump supporters affiliated with several religious groups, Happy Science, Sanctuary Church, and Falun Gong. Up here, we're sharing information. You're going to have to scroll.
Yeah.
About this event in Japanese. Although it's a weekday, the turnout is quite large.
God bless Trump. Support Trump. Japan 0106. And a bunch of
shit that I can't read.
A bunch of Japanese writing.
Fuchikura Yoshiro, a researcher who covers fringe religious groups in Japan, on his blog Almost Daily Cult News. Not quite the whole thing, but almost daily cult news.
Almost daily.
It's like 4 or 5 days a week, maybe.
Yeah, like
it's almost daily. noted on Twitter that he observed many prominent and senior members of Happy Science at a different pro-Trump demonstration in Tokyo's Hibiya district on January 5th, which he estimated attracted between 1,000 and 2,000 people.
Yeah, did we mention that Happy Science is extremely pro-Trump earlier? We didn't.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't.
See, got my Google Translate up for that tweet. Oh, and I can't read it anymore.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
See, I'm using my camera thing to translate it.
Okay.
See, yesterday's Hibiya president, Trump's favorite. It's skipping all the punctuation and shit. Never mind.
It would do that. It does that.
I tried. It was...
Actually, I could run this through Google Translate real quick. No,
and don't worry about it.
Not Twitter.
We get the gist.
Copy. I'll run it through while Quitty's talking.
A demonstration, this is probably it translated right here. A demonstration in support of President Donald Trump marched from Hibiya to Ginza yesterday. It was sponsored by Happy Science's Trump Supporters in Japan group, along with the same Happy Science Change Japan group.
Yeah, that's
the march also seemed to be co-sponsored by the new federal state of China, a group linked to Trump supporter Steve Bannon, and by the President Trump re-election support rally demonstration executive committee.
Yep, that's the translation of it.
Yep.
Oh, I feel foolish.
Fujikura notes it seems as though different groups were collaborating together as a sort of JAnon all-star team, all brought together by Trump.
God,
this kind of reminds me of the Canada Queen. You know who I'm talking about? The Queen of Canada? The woman who claims that QAnon is talking to her and that she's the Queen of Canada and that the people should stop paying their bills, and as soon as she told them that,
I kind of remember this.
They stopped paying their bills, and a lot of them ended up getting evicted and getting their power shut off, and ended up getting arrested for driving without a license, all that, because they were idiots and actually followed her advice.
Yep.
It's a sovereign citizen group who heavily supports Trump and also are extremely fucking idiotic because they actually thought, if I just stop paying my bills, I can, opt out of society and live on my own and not have to worry about paying bills anymore. No, that's not how that works. That's not how anything works. Seriously.
No, it's not.
Bills are kind of...
And they found it out the hard way, and I'm fucking glad they did, because they're stupid idiots that deserve it.
Yeah, they are. They really are. I mean, taxes are kind of...
mandatory?
Well, not just that. They are the contract that you signed when you agreed to basically be a member of society.
Yeah.
If you want to opt out of society, you can't just stop paying bills because you would have to give up everything you own because,
Yeah, it's kind of part of being in a place. Like, if you're in a country, then you're going to have to pay taxes to that country.
Exactly. It's part of it's part of the social contract. I mean, that's all it is. Yeah. It's a social contract.
And as part of a conversation on Twitter started by scholar and religious specialist Levi McLaughlin, said about what groups are driving the pro-Trump movement in Japan, Norichika Hori also suggests pro-Trump groups include a variety of religious groups.
Yeah.
It is
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
It is possible that such groups may be using the enthusiasm and energy generated by the outgoing U.S. president to attract new followers and generate revenue.
Of course, because they're all about that revenue.
Yep.
That's dollar bills, y'all.
Okay.
It's like Elron said, real money's in religion.
Yep. Real money is indeed in religion.
It's like Colonel Sanders said, I'm too drunk to taste this chicken.
Yes, Michael Raptor, we do indeed live in a society.
Yes. Society is a thing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't just
Thought
opt
Nick-
out of that. Just can't opt out of that without, actually
Yeah.
doing the thing that we
I
don't
mean,
talk
technically you can opt out, but it means putting yourself into permanent sleep.
about. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was alluding to.
Yeah. Though Akimoto, a software developer and journalist who regularly blah 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 blah.
Words are hard. Words are hard.
Regularly reports on and shares news stories on Twitter, worries that not enough people remember how quickly far-right movements can turn into cults and the damage cults can do.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't had a good cult mass suicide in like 20 years. We really need another one. It was like, what was it, mid-90s? The Hell Bop? The Heaven's
Hellbop
Gate
comment.
cult?
Heaven's Gate. Yeah.
Like
Heaven's Gate.
we haven't had a good Heaven's Gate in over 20 years.
It's high
time for a good cult mass suicide.
Yeah. Thin out the herd, as it were.
These pro-Trump groups in Japan, Thoten says, must be watched. And there's a saying, the cult comes for you just when you have stopped paying attention. No, there's no such saying. I just made that up right now. But it's true. We have to keep a close watch on the behavior of Trump supporters in Japan and the United States who deny the U.S. election results.
Yeah. Yes, we do.
Mhm.
And that's the end of that article. We've already read that one. I actually did find the Lost Universe official theatrical trailer. So watch that as like a little finisher.
All right.
Have you heard of the Genius School? They put this stuff on your head. When you wake up, your memory's superpowered.
This is a college prep boarding school. There's no need for cram school.
And it's funny that this is what they actually believe, and it's this badly done. I mean, the production values are pretty high.
That was some high quality animation.
It's some high quality animation, but still, it's what they actually believe.
I'm gonna call bullshit. I'm gonna say it's CGI.
She went to the cram school. She keeps getting weaker. She doesn't even know what's happening to her. So what do you think happened?
UFO! It appears it was an alien abduction. They're on the move now. These
If you
aliens
don't get
want to do
probed,
something.
it's not a real abduction.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
better be
To
some
us
probing
right here
going
in our
on.
school.
Then prove it! It's the Academy!
There are people who are waiting for you.
When you awaken to your true potential, you become invincible.
You see what's inside your heart, Anna? Yes.
I actually want to watch this anime now. It actually looks pretty damn good. Quitties, if by next week I am a happy science member called blame the stream.
Yeah.
He is the servant of the evil god.
You'll never be able to escape.
I will win and the earth will be mine.
The Earth must live on. I would fight for this planet.
Part 0. Yeah, that's an actual cult made that anime.
Huh. And did you know that the Umbrella Academy is where you go to learn trades to work at the Umbrella Corporation?
Yeah, and wait. Didn't the Umbrella Corporation unleash some nasty virus on the human population
Yeah.
and cause zombies?
The T virus. I mean, there were like 47 movies made about it and a bunch of video games.
Yeah, and then there was the Umbrella Academy that raises the superheroes, which is completely different.
Yeah, but that's where you
If
that's
you
where
want to
you go
call
to
that raising someone.
learn to
Yeah.
learn your trade to work at the Umbrella Corporation.
It sounds like the plot to a Doctor Who episode, yes.
Look,
Yes, it
there
does.
have been ongoing lawsuits between the two over the naming rights. That's just how it is.
So, what have we learned today?
Well, I learned that people are stupid and will believe some really dumb shit.
Yeah.
Of course, I already knew that because I know that flat earthers exist.
Yeah. I learned that I might become a happy scientist one day if I watch this anime. Which I will. I am gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it. It actually looks pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, that looked actually pretty awesome.
I have learned that the power of the sun, wacky QAnon conspiracy bullshit, and Donald Trump may actually manage to bring the Chinese and Japanese peoples closer together in the worst way possible.
Yeah.
I learned that that somehow I didn't know that to begin with tonight that Happy Science is actually linked to QAnon. I didn't know that before tonight, but now I do, and I'm scared.
Well, now you know, and knowing is half the
battle.
Man, we
so
didn't even
now
get into the
everyone
crazy
go
dogma.
find the channel that streams G.I. Joe 24 hours a day and go watch a few episodes.
There was
Also,
look
up.
There was
look
a
up.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Sorry,
Also, look up that episode of the 2 episodes of Mother's Basement about the Happy Science thing.
Yes, the Mother's Basement episodes on that are brilliantly. I mean, I watched them in preparation of this, and it is brilliant. It is actually really brilliant, brilliantly done. But yeah, I also learned that there was a Rick and Morty channel that streamed Rick and Morty episodes 24/7. I don't know if they do it. I don't know if they do it now, but there was one a while back.
Well, Facty learned that we may be doing a Mandela show soon.
Oh, you mean the Morgan Freeman effect?
Apparently, people have been waiting for a long time for that, and we've never done it.
Yeah, we've never. It's
And
funny we've never done
Keanu learned that shoving chopsticks up your nose is not the best idea. I recommend crayons.
The purple ones are the best. Well, no, the purple ones taste good, but the orange ones are the best for shoving up your nose. I don't know why. I think they smell better.
Of course, I'm too young to remember the Church of Scientology commercials, but I've watched videos about what they did.
Oh, yeah.
And when I was on that other shitty channel, we had the crap, I can't remember his name, the country singer that's a former Scientologist. We had him on. And that like doing the research before that show, I came across that.
Conway Twitty?
Yes.
The Conway Twitty?
I can take a little Conway Twitty when I'm sucking on a redneck titty.
Oh, God.
Yes, I just quoted Insane Clown Posse.
Who was the country singer that Family Guy would often play for no reason?
That's Conway Twitty.
Okay,
Car full of fat chicks and a trunk full of Fago.
I thought it was Conway Twitty. Thought so. Anyway, we will see y'all in the next stream.
Well, before we go, I do want to mention the other big news story, just in case people haven't heard. Today, protesters in Sri Lanka may have overthrown the Sri Lankan government.
Yeah.
And they stormed the president's palace and burned it to the ground. From what I understand, most, if not all, of the Sri Lankan government escaped. But yeah, you should look up some videos. There are tens of thousands of people storming the presidential palace. Like, it is ridiculous how many people actually went there to overthrow the government.
Yeah, and
I'm not going to comment on either side because I don't know enough about what's going on there to form an opinion. But just so you know, yeah, it happened.
And also, in lighter news, on Monday night, 4 o'clock, or it's either 4 o'clock, 4:30 Eastern, we will be going live with World of Akala. Well, I will be going live with World of Akala. We'll be playing some Dungeons and Dragons, Ice Cold Freedom, and Rangers of Power, which is a Power Rangers inspired D&D session, which had a lot of fun with so far. And yeah, so if you want to tune into that, it's World of Akala. I'll put a link up in the chat real quick.
Yeah, go for it. And yeah, next
I'll put it in the comments.
Clover Mom, the January 6th people could have used pointers from them. Next week, we may actually finally cover the Mandela effect, or we'll cover what's going on in Ukraine again.
Or something
One
else.
or the other. Since we've never covered the Mandela effect, though, next week may be the week. You never know. I guess we'll just have to come back and see.
Or I'm gonna have to go watch I'm gonna have to go watch Shazam in preparation for it. Some people get confused and think that it was actually a movie called Kazam starring Shaq. Weirdos.
Yeah, weirdos.
Yep. All right, anywho, good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you for coming. We'll see you in hell.